Hello, third graders. Welcome to Miss Nazaripour's new online YouTube channel. This is our new space for learning and growing together. For all of my friends out there in room 244 who have often told me that their biggest goal in life was to be a YouTube star, I beat you. I set up this space so that we can continue our learning. But I want to start by saying that right now it's super sad for me that we can't be together. And I bet that if it's sad for me, it's probably sad for some of you guys too. But I want to remind you of something that we say in the classroom that I've always told you, that the most important thing for all of the adults in your life is to keep you safe, happy, and healthy. Unfortunately, right now, in order to keep you safe and healthy, we have to stay apart. And I know that's really sad, but it's what we have to do right now to be good community members. That does not mean, do not think for a minute that that in any way means that I'm not thinking about you or wishing I was with you, because I am. I want to thank those of you who have been texting and emailing me. I want to really thank those of you who have sent me the texts and the pictures of your writing. It was so fun to read what you guys have been writing since we haven't been in school. I told you, you guys were the best kids. Even though we don't have school, you're continuing to work and grow. Good job. So this is another space that we can do that together. Every day I'm going to post a video, which is going to be a lesson in either reading, writing, or math. Today we're going to do reading. And today I want to talk to you about something we've already learned about a little bit, author's purpose. I'm going to scooch in a little closer here. And I'm going to remind you that author's purpose is as easy as pie. We all love pie. There are three major reasons that an author might write. There are three major reasons that an author might write a story or a text. And one of those reasons is the P in pie. It's to persuade or to convince the reader of a certain point of view. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be learning a lot about persuasion and opinion. We've been learning a lot about this next one, which is the I in pie, and that's to inform. An author will often write stories just to inform us or give us information. If you think about the story we just read about morning breakfasts, that was a way that the author tried to inform us of something. What people around the world ate for breakfast. Another reason that an author might write a text is to entertain. And that means to hold the attention of the reader through enjoyment. And I want to talk about this word, enjoyment, because an author can do a lot under the guise of having us enjoy it. So many of you read books for enjoyment. A lot. So if you think about those stories like Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Captain Underpants, those stories have a good purpose. That purpose is to make us enjoy, to laugh. And so many of you like to read those books, and I can hear you laughing around the classroom when you do. It's very important. Laughter is very important. But sometimes an author will try to teach us a lesson, and they will teach us that lesson through a story that we might enjoy. Kids, if you see the camera shaking at all, it's because Lulu is shaking it. Maybe you'll meet Lulu on this channel. But today, I have a book for you, and it is a book that I definitely enjoy, but it's also a book that teaches me a lesson. And it's called Love, and it's written by Matt De La Peña with illustrations by Lauren Long. Before I even get started reading, I'm gonna preview it by getting my mind ready by reading a certain text feature that you might find in both fiction and informational texts. Sometimes it's on the back of the book, not this time, and sometimes it's on the side. Anybody remember what that is? Think about it. Did you say blurb? You are right. Love is the melody that follows us through each and every day of our lives. Whether it's the sound of our parents' voices lulling us to sleep, the joyful laughter of an uncle's latest tall tale, or the warm embrace means hug, the warm embrace of a loved one telling us everything will be okay. It's a feeling that takes countless forms and ultimately connects us all. In this stirring celebration of love, Newbery Medal winning author Matt De La Peña and best-selling illustrator Lauren Long depict the many ways we experience this universal bond. With heartfelt illustrations and a soothing lyrical text, this tender tale is a needed comfort and a new classic that will resonate with readers at every age. When it says a lyrical text, that means it's going to sound a little sing-songy, and when it says resonate, that means it's going to connect with you. Let's see if it does. Love. In the beginning, there is light and two wide-eyed figures standing near the foot of your bed, and the sound of their voices is love. The author doesn't tell us who the people in this illustration are, who the author is talking about, but I can infer if it's in the beginning and there's two people standing over the bed, this might be parents. A cab driver plays love softly on his radio while you bounce and back with the bumps of the city, and everything smells new and it smells like life. The author is telling us in here that music can be love. That's something that really resonates with me. You guys know I love music. But I'm also seeing that the illustrator has created a scenario of love. I can see this little boy giving this older gentleman who seems to be pretty down on his luck his hot dog. That's an act of service. It's taking care of somebody. That's a form of love too. Love too is the smell of crashing waves and a train whistling blindly in the distance. And each night, the sky above your trailer turns the color of love. I can see what appears to be, or what I can infer to be, a father and daughter dancing on the top. But if you take a closer look, you see that lady in there washing those dishes? Remember that taking care of the people we love is an act of service. Very important kind of love. In a crowded concrete park, you toddle towards summer sprinklers while older kids skip rope and run up the slide, and soon you are running among them, and the echo of your laughter is love. Looks like a good time. On the night the fire alarm blares, you're pulled from sleep and whisked into the street where a quiet old lady is pointing to the sky. Stars shine long after they flamed out, she tells you, and the shine they shine is love. Now, if you take a look closely at the picture, you can see here, it looks like there's been a fire, and these firefighters are working hard to keep people safe, and at the same time, this lady, this older lady, is keeping this young child safe and happy by drawing her attention away from the fire. I can see two acts of love here. I see the service from these firefighters, and I also see this as an act of love, trying to keep her happy in a very sad, difficult time. One day, you find your family nervously huddled around the TV, but when you ask what happened, they answer with silence and shift between you and the screen. I wonder if that's ever happened for any of you. Have you ever seen your family huddled around a television screen? Obviously, you can infer getting some bad news, but trying to shield you from it or keep you away from it. Take a minute and think about it. Has that ever happened to you? That's an act of love too. In your dream that night, you are searching for a love that seems lost. You open and close drawers, lift cushions, empty old toy bins, but there's nothing. It's a scary nightmare. You wake with a start in the arms of a loved one who bends to your ear and whispers, it's okay, my love. You can see even though that child was having a bad dream, there's a loved one there to comfort him or her. And in time, you learn to recognize a love overlooked. When you overlook something, you don't notice it. A love that wakes at dawn and rides to work on the bus. A slice of burnt toast that tastes like love. Let's think about what the author says here. The author says, and you can see the illustration, that love is getting up at dawn and taking a bus. It's also burnt toast. What do you think's happening? What can you infer is happening in this picture? Did you think about it? What I think might be happening is this might be a parent or a guardian of some sort rushing to work even though it's snowing, and an older sibling taking care of the younger sibling by making them breakfast. So even though that toast is burnt and probably not so tasty, it's an act of love because it's one person caring for another. And it's love in each deep crease of your grandfather's face as he lowers himself onto an overturned bucket to fish. So this looks to me like quality time, like grandpa is deciding to share something that he loves with his grandchild and teaching him how to fish and spending that time with him. Quality time is another important kind of love. And it's love in the rustling leaves of gnarled trees lined behind the flower fields. And here I can see that this young child is finding the love of nature, which I hope that you guys are all doing a little bit each day while you aren't in school. It's important to be outside. And it's love in the made-up stories your uncles tell in the backyard between wild horseshoe throws. This picture reminds me of the time we read the Sonia Sotomayor story, and she talked a lot about the games that she and her family would play when they would come over and how they would share their lives and their culture together through games. And sharing our culture and sharing our lives is an act of love, that quality time. And the man in rags outside the subway station plays love notes that lift into the sky like tiny beacons of light. Can see that this man is sharing his gift with the people of his city. And this picture is beautiful. And the face staring back in the bathroom mirror, this too is love. Third grade, I think that this is the kind of love we don't talk about a lot, and I think it's just as important as all the other kinds of love. It's loving yourself and knowing that you are important and that you are cared about and that you are worthy, and that it's okay if things come hard. It's okay if you make mistakes. You still have to look at yourself every day and know that you are love. And I love you. I hope you love yourself. So when the time comes for you to set off on your own, heavy winds will sweep past your building and great gray clouds will congregate above. Your loved ones will stand there like puddles beneath their umbrellas, holding you tight and kissing you and wishing you luck. So even though this character is going off by themselves for another great journey in life, another great adventure, they're going with the knowledge that they're coming from love and they're taking that love with them. But it won't be luck you'll leave with because you'll have love. You'll have love, love, love. And that was Love by Matt De La Peña. And the author's purpose, again, was to entertain us through enjoyment. And it was also to use enjoyment to teach us a lesson. And that lesson is that the most important thing in life is love. And that is what I'm sending all of you tonight. Or it'll probably be morning when you watch this. So it's what I'm sending you this morning. And I have an assignment for you, okay? This is your writing prompt of the day. I would like for you to think about all of the things that you love. Go ahead. Think. Put 5 fingers up and think of 5 things that you love. Pause the video if you need to and share it with a friend or a family member. I will tell you my 5 things. I love my dad. I love Lulu, even though she's been shaking the camera. I love Penny Lane. I love all of my friends, and I love all of my students. Your job today is to write a list of all of the things that you love and all of the things that bring you happiness and joy in your life and the things that give you the strength to be yourself and to be strong. That's choice 1. So you can either write a list of all of the things that you love, or you can do choice 2. And choice 2 is to write a letter. So turn to the next blank page in your journal and you'll write a letter to somebody who loves you, somebody that you love, and tell them some nice things about them. Then rip out that page, and if you can, give it to that person. Now, what if you can't give it to them because we're all doing this social distancing thing where we're not next to the people that we love? What could you do? Well, you could take a picture just like Nell and Kayla and Elliot have done, and text me your work, and I can pass it on to the person. If I know them, maybe it's a friend in the classroom that you could write a letter to, and I could text it to their family and they can share it with them. Or you can ask your mom and dad to text it to somebody else in your life. Or maybe it is your mom and dad. Maybe it's your little sibling or your older sibling. So those are your 2 choices for writing prompts today. 1, remember what it was? A list of all the things you love, just like Matt De La Peña did. Think about all the places you see love in your life and make a list on the next blank page of your journal. Or 2, write a letter to the person who you want to tell how much you love them. Okay, friends, thank you so much for tuning in to our very first video and listening to one of my favorite books. I know I always say that, but you know, I'm a book person. I love books, and I hope that you are doing lots of good reading. All right, take care, and I will see you again tomorrow. Be sure to text me some pictures of your writing prompts today. All right, bye.